All right.
Stop hollering, I don't give a fuck. If you see us off, say you better fuck with us. Stop hollering, stay up for God. Stop hollering, stay up for God. Now we changing shit. When you read bitch, the body find the scene. Why you being stuck with me? Stop hollering, stay up for God. Stop hollering, stay up for God. When you're looking up, that's the strain you see us. Fly God in a jet, he's sick or say you some fuck demons. Parents say they fucks, but they out of luck for leeching. On a ninja show you it will stop you from the roof. Lay up and I shoot. Fucking on the goddess, but she pulled me like a flu. I better ask her too. She gon' know we made it. What have not get bitch as fuck, so we're not talking metals, but you know I got a message. Yeah, man. Just Rockstar covering this motherfucker. And for real, I'm gonna power up with this next verse. And I don't really give a fuck this point. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Now get it, man. Cause these niggas hate. Ain't got it easy, clearly, very good. You take off, stay with it. They need it, but you didn't. Why I go so far for our mates and over you, they only plot.
The other. This is working fine. Oh my god. Somebody is there. Boom, 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 boom. I'm not using that speaker again, at least on live. But this should be working fine. When I be using it, when I don't live, it wants to start acting up. Fucked up. Blocked up. Why are we so on me? You gotta be. Alright, anyway, you know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Make sure we live and direct. Make sure we live and direct in this motherfucker. Stop balling and the fuck? Okay. Check.
The fuck?
Okay. We good. I like it. You know what I'm saying? But check it out. You know what I'm saying? Mars and Cancer. You know what I'm saying? Now with Mars and Cancer, you know what I'm saying? We are going to be emotionally about our passions, the things that we may be gifted towards, the things we may be sexually driven towards, the things we may be like things that may drive us to do the things we do, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like with that Mars being in Cancer, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like it's a cusp right now, but for real, it's really in there at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So it's like with these energies in the skies of now, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna be put in a space somewhere the universe is gonna be challenging us to see if the things we're like directing our passions towards, like, because if the things we're directing our passions towards, like the things that help us materialize, manifest, all types of shit, if we're in a space of where we can be emotionally prepared for these things when it starts to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, when you start to materialize, the universe is testing you to see if you can handle this amount of pressure, or whatever, the pressure bust pipes. You know what I'm saying? Because pressure will be the Virgo, pipes will be the Cancer. So the Mars in Cancer busting them pipes. You know what I'm saying? It's like going inside a hole. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when that happens, you want to be in a space where you can kind of realize the whole perspective of these things happen when we're going through a certain planetary alignment during the sky. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be in a space where you're prepared for these actions. You know what I'm saying? You're prepared for these things. You know what I'm saying? You're prepared for what life got for you. You know what I'm saying? Like for you could be doing anything. You can be uh in a space on where you're trying to get your shit together within what it means to be a citizen of yourself in general. And once you're connecting with that kind of allegory space, you'll be in a space on where the whole perception perspective of what you try to gain out of life would be the same essence of what you're trying to materialize out of the real world. So it's like you'll be out here being like, whether you be in a space where you're being chaotic or non-chaotic or regular or whatever personality trait fits in your category. I'm an INFJ, but whatever personality trait you may be currently in, that's kind of how that kills characteristics will play out in the real world. You know what I'm saying? Prepare for these energies, and you know how to properly go within that the elemental work before itself. You know what I'm saying? And once you're going with those aspects in life, you'll be in a space where you're more prepared for what life has for you. You know what I'm saying? You won't be so sheltered. You won't be so you won't be so non-prepared for. You'll be in a space where you're properly going within the actual elemental flow, and you know how to go upon these things. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll be something that you're doing to gain uh a more what's that? Because Cancer is care, so more caring energy towards it. You have more care towards what you got for your passions and your goals. You'll care for these things. So the things you materialize, you'll care for these things more. You won't be so you won't be still, you won't make them, they won't be like non-useful to you. You'll be in a catering space to you. Like it'll be like almost like a comfort. Like if you got a comfort snack or whatever, a comfort, it'll be like almost like a comfort thing towards you. You know what I'm saying? Once you get with that kind of program, you'll be in a space where you actually know why and how certain things, like why and how you play out certain personality traits or characteristics within yourself and then the real world, because that's like how depending on where the Mars is in your house is how it plays out. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you want to know how to actually see where certain like character traits go are playing out. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like no matter what, we all gonna be a space where we're all having a sort of how I say this, a sort of main point of view on how we see something. You know what I'm saying? And that main point of view, whether you're seeing it in a optimistic way or whether you're seeing it in a low way, or or in a hybrid way, whatever you're looking at it, you'll be in a space where you're more getting the more personality traits of trying to understand what is actually happening towards that actual, like whatever house you got that plant that thing in. You know what I'm saying? So if you got this in your first house, then it'll be your personalities, your character traits, and how you express yourself and how you're seen towards the real world will be affected. So you'll be in a space where the the whole um um the whole aspect of how you're trying to cater to something may lead you to a way and how, if you're not properly looking at all like scenarios on where these things can play out, they may not play out the right way and what you're trying to lay out for your standards. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna break down all houses, but I kind of I was just this example. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess I can, but I mean, I just do it. If you got a second house, then what you how you what you communicate, what you care to, what you have, what you like, if what you care towards, what you're personally into and things of that nature, you may be in a space somewhere the whole the whole proper allegory and aspects of how you care toward these things. You may talk a lot about your passions in an emotional like way. So no matter how you got it going, you may not, you whether you're prepared for the whole aspect of what is holding towards the real life world, you may have a way in how you may have a way how you communicate these things. Let's say you have in your third house, so your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? What's tangible to you, what you can reach out for. You know what I'm saying? You're passionately emotionally, passionately into reaching out things that can comfort you, like almost like a comfort food. Almost like if you got a comfort food, you've got something that's you can almost that can help you out with a space on where it can almost cater to a space on where you would like to be in a certain feeling, no matter how it's going how it's going on and things of that nature. You don't mind. Um, you probably have this one individual that you could communicate with that you don't mind letting out all the beans and your marbles into that individual. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. You may lose your marbles with that within that individual. The way you communicate all your information towards that individual. I say cancer. You know what I'm saying? With let's see, you got cancer. You may uh uh you may like to have these things within a personality within your family, your mostly your family. It can be friends too, people that can almost like cater to, like I said, to these your passions in a more stable like way. And if it's more family orientated, then it'll be in a space of where you're more like with the actual ways and how you're reflecting towards an individual. Like it won't be seen as negative the way you do it. Because if Mars is passionate, but it won't seem passionate. It won't seem almost passionate. You almost see more in a carnal cancer like way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because Mars is in Cancer, so you'll be doing it in a Karen like way. Not a Karen, but a Karen like way. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you got this in Leo. You know what I'm saying? You're the way you express yourself. You know what I'm saying? You may be almost like, people may think you're being a narc the way you express yourself, or selfish, but it's not none of that. It's actually the space you're in. You may know you're selfish if you got the Leo's placement like this, and you may think to yourself like, damn, I'm not being real. I'm almost not being realistic. I might be going a little bit too overboard. You know, the way I'm coming across with my Martian like energy within the Cancerian house. And by the way, this is if you have like Mars, and let's say, for example, let's say you got Mars in a certain house. You don't gotta have Cancer in it, but since the Mars is in Cancer in the actual sky, this is how you it's gonna be playing out in general for you and so whatever you got Mars in is how it will play out in a total allegory. So you can have Mars in Leo, Mars in Scorpio, Mars in Gemini, but as long as you know the placement on where your actual house planet system is, then you'll know that the way that it's going, that a way that the energies in the sky is correlated, that you know Mars is in Cancer as of now. So like I said, like Mars, so let's say you got this in Leo, you know what I'm saying? The way you go upon your ego and expressions and characteristics and your me type shit. You may do this in a more singular like way. You may do this. You may do this in a uh maybe people, you may think it's compatible, but people will see it as more of you being unreliable in a space like that. Like within when it's in a six what, fifth house, my bad. When it's in the fifth house, you may come across a little unreliable, but you may think you're being reliable in a space like that. But when you understand the actual energy source, you'll be in a space where you can kind of cater to the right ways and how you look at these things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's say you got this in the sixth house, Libra. You know what I'm saying? No, Virgo. I'm tripping. So Virgo, let's say you got this in the sixth house. The way you may overly think too much you may overly think yourself into a sickness. You know what I'm saying? You may overly think yourself into stressing yourself, overworking yourself, and within the Mars being in this ask, and you may be emotionally passionate about these things. You may think this is not the wrong thing to do. You may think this is the right thing to do, but you want to be aware that the whole a- aspect. This is kind of like a new shift with Mars being in Cancer. So it's kind of like you got to be prepared to understand how you're seen, or how you're supposed to be seen, or how you're supposed to be catered towards, or how you're supposed to be in within the energy you want to be in a space where you're understanding what you're expressing. So you want to look at everything you're expressing and not be too passionately into, like, you may overly stress yourself into a headache thinking too much about your passions with this being in Virgo within your Virgo house. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you got this in Libra. You know what I'm saying? With Mars, with this being Libra, you may be overly friendly on the way you communicate your passions, and you may do this in a overly caring way or an overly receiving way. So you may do this in a way that you think that it's supposed to be dealt with. So people may think you're even emotional in a time like this. You may not even be emotional, but the way you're coming across, you're you're coming across as emotional. You know what I'm saying? And you want to be aware that it's not about you being emotional or not. It's about you understanding that you may be overly friendly in a time like this. And see, with the Mars and Cancer, we're all gonna be emotional and about our passions and our gifts and our talents. But it's how you build upon that and let that thing be dealt with. You know what I'm saying? Let that thing be uh, expressed with. You know what I'm saying? Let that thing be accumulated with. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you got this in Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? You may be overly deep into your cults, your mysticism, your passions, all that shit, into a space on where you may be overly like sexual. You may be overly passionate. You may be overly into your desires. You may be even your witchcraft you do. You may be overly going too. I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's such thing as going too deep in your witchcraft. But if you're in a space somewhere, the way you're expressing it may seem like, if you, let's say you don't got spiritual people around you and you're trying to express all that nonsense, how they see it nonsense. It's not nonsense, but the way they see it, they think you're expressing all that nonsense, so they don't want to hear none of that shit. They think you're being emotional about that shit. They think you're being overly into some shit like that. And whether you got that whether you got that shit correlated or not, you want to know what you're doing in that time. You don't want to be lost in the sauce thinking that, oh shit, I should probably see where this individual is coming from. I should probably see where this individual, because but like, you're never gonna understand where an individual is coming from. You never know. You're never gonna understand what's on an individual's mind unless you actually ask them. You know what I'm saying? And they may even give you a lie with that being the eighth house. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you got this. Let's say you got this in the ninth house. You know what I'm saying? The things you're spiritually into and things of that nature. Like I said, you may be passionate about your wisdom, your knowledge, the things that wake you up in the morning, things that make you motivated, the things that make you push every day to be a better individual, whatever expression you come up with your mind to be more catering towards that goal in your life that you got for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you got for yourself, you want to be in a space where you're understanding that the whole point of view on how you are coming across these things is more you want to know how you're coming across these things. You may be overly into that wisdom, but if you're passionate about it, which it will lead you to be passionate about it, that's a good thing, because you're passionate about the things that help you expand your mind. You know what I'm saying? And if you know how to expand your mind and express the things you're into the right way, you'll be in a space of where then you're up for the goal, you're up for the challenge, you're up for the space on what you're supposed to do as a spirit down here. You're supposed to come here and change the ball game and change and become the best witch or wizard down here and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you getting lost in the sauce thinking something else, but once you know that, you're on your right path. Let's say you got this in Capricorn, 10th house. You know what I'm saying? You'll be about your your status, your business. You'll be more into that shit. You know what I'm saying? You'll be more into that type of shit. You try to be the boss. You have the boss mentality, and whatever you have within that thing, what you're doing, you'll be you'll be more into that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers will think you're lost in a sense of nature, but whatever you're doing, um, you'll know that the things you're up to will lead you to be a more business savage, um, goal oriented, and things of that nature. So you'll know you'll be in the right natures in life and where you're supposed to be relatively being. You know what I'm saying? As a being. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shit. As a being. You know what I'm saying? What up? Oh, Aquarius. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you got this 11. Let's say Mars in Cancer, and it's in Mars is in your 11th house. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's say my hold on. Oh yeah. No. Let's say Mars is in your 11th house. So the way you the way you will communicate with your associates, strangers, more on the basis of co-workers or whatever people you meet out in the real life and things of that nature, the people you don't really know like that, you may be passionate towards those individuals to get you to be more communicative, to be more like you may be emotionally too much into that shit. You know what I'm saying? But on a lower octave, you may be trying to get everybody to be on some one wavelength and try to get everyone to think like you. On a higher octave, you let others think for themselves and come to the conclusion to be an individual within themselves. So what you're creating, to what you're coming up with individuals like that, you'll be in a space where you're more required, or you have more required. You fulfill the requirements to be like a smart individual within the aspect of communication and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? Now if this is shit is in Pisces, you know what I'm saying, motherfucker, you might be Mars in 12th house, you might be into the shit where you may be passionate about the your goals and dreams, but it may be in a space somewhere you're stuck besides the two fishes. You don't know whether to be passionate in the higher octave Mars, not higher octave, but higher octave Mars, Aries. Okay, Aries. What the fuck? Chill. Okay, Aries, Scorpio. So higher octave would be Aries, lower octave would be Scorpio, but not really higher or lower octave. It's just it's it's just it just understanding the both sides of the fish, day and night, light on, light off, things of that nature. So it's like that in a nutshell. So when you understand that, you'll understand that the way your passions are into that thing, you're already gonna be caring, you're already gonna be mutable. So you're once you're in those two uh higher octave of I'm not higher higher will be daytime, lower will be nighttime, but this is the algorithm I'm trying to make. Once you're in those two fishies, you'll be in the space of where you're trying to get the actual wavelength of how these things are supposed to be seen. Like you'll be in a space of where like it's like because Pisces y'all be into y'all mind a lot. So it's like that's why it's like no matter what, you're gonna be in a space of where the things you're into, you may be in that dream shit, that dream state, but you may be passionately into that shit and try to let people know about what you should be into. So because like Jupiter is the ruler, Neptune is the co-ruler. So you're gonna get individuals into the space where you want them motherfuckers to be about that wisdom that you try to push out, but people may think you're too far out with Neptune being the further planet. So you may try to get people up to that reach, but they might not be up to par. So it's like it's deep, but you gotta know how to see it within those aspects. You know what I'm saying? So once you know how to look at it from those allegories, you'll be in a space where like you understand that the whole perception of why we call like Mars in the 12th house or whatever you want to call it, or Mars in Pisces, but really more specific, I'm talking about Mars in the 12th house. Let's say because Mars is in Cancer right now, but let's say you got this in your 12th house. You know what I'm saying? Y'all may already be too much into the water, and you once you got that fire in the water, you may deflame yourself out of that flame too many times. So you may try to have something where you have some sort of passion going, but you deflame yourself all the time. So it's like the daytime is supposed to keep it sparking or flaming, because the light. So once you get you to the once you're in a higher surface on the water wavelength, you'll be near the light. So you'll be just about to combust, about to flame to your passions. But then when you're in the lower arc, the nighttime, it can't reach those further lights. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like how you can get topic. But yeah, so it's like at the end of the day, we all here just to understand the basis on what we come up with towards the elemental aspects of what these things mean for ourselves. Like, you know, we want to know, we want to be in a space on where we understand that once we're up to par with the whole aspect of why we come up with certain like names, not names, but person. I keep saying personality traits. Excuse me, actions, reactions, all that shit, based upon your sun and moon. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, your sun and moon. Like I say, your sun will be your actions, your moon will be your reaction. So based upon what you have within these planets is based on how you're kind of you'll be perceived in a day-to-day basis within the moon aspect. You know what I'm saying? And with moon being, I think moon is in Libra. If I'm correct, let me check. I think moon is in Libra. If I'm correct. Yep, it's in Libra. So, um, yeah, it's gone to Libra. No, it's been there for a minute now. But yeah, with moon in Libra, you know what I'm saying. But with moon being in Libra, you want to. That's kind of like we're all gonna be just aware. We're gonna be try to um be emotionally a part within our communications and what like the way we may associate with individuals in a more relative like way. You know what I'm saying? We may want to understand what the individuals coming up within why they think certain characteristic traits within each other. We may come up with certain like allegories and traits on why certain we come up with certain ways and how things appear to be. You know what I'm saying? And once we understand what things appear to be, we'll understand that the whole thing is based upon what we may be are aware of in the main basis of life. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, no matter what we're doing, we're gonna be in a space of where we're trying to like get individuals up to par on what and it's crazy because I broke down the certain houses, but I could have just broken down the ascendant, and y'all can have done it. But I fuck all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I know y'all probably got. Oh damn! That's thought about it right now. Y'all probably mad about. I want to redo it. I mean, y'all should put the pieces together. What I was trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Damn, okay, threw me because I thought about it now. Yeah, when I was saying the certain like Aries, Taurus, Gemini, I'm speaking like, damn, I was speaking of it in the context of first house, second house, third house. But if y'all fine, y'all understand it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was saying the houses too, so I wasn't getting y'all lost in the sauce thinking things this. You know what I'm saying? But when you got certain when I want, but for example, like I know now, so the way I express it, I'll come across that way when I'm trying to express it to y'all, so y'all can kind of get understand it. But I was trying to do it in a different way. But don't worry about that shit. It ain't even that deep because I was the way I was expressing to you guys, y'all could have understood what I was trying to say. The certain Mars in that certain house. You know what I'm saying? Like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and so forth. But yeah. So, but it's like you know what I'm saying. Astrology is deep. You know what I'm saying. All that shit is deep. Astronomy too. Woo, y'all got to be hip to astronomy too. Astronomy is just as important as astrology. You know what I'm saying. Without astronomy, you wouldn't know understand the point of astrology where it's coming from. You know what I'm saying. Like you wouldn't understand that the transit for Venus, like you would probably think in your mind Venus is really out there, but Venus is not even a real planet. Venus is an allegory of the sun's transition. So once the sun is in its second house, that's what we can kind of call it the morning star element. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way we call it Venus. You know what I'm saying? And when you understand that aspect of what we're trying to call as Venus, that would be 8 to 10 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, 8 to 10 o'clock, and 8 to 10 o'clock will be Venus time. You know what I'm saying? So that's the astronomy. So once you go outside and look for yourself and breathe the air for themselves and do your 360 and do and what and so forth, so forth, you understand that the whole point of what we're trying to come up with, what we try to call as Venus, is things that we see from the astronomy point of view. And the astrology point of view, we can understand, okay, Venus, okay, Taurus, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Okay, Venus, daytime Libra, daytime, no, nighttime Libra, daytime, no, is it? No, daytime Taurus, no, nighttime Taurus, okay, daytime Libra. You know, so there you go. I don't know why so when you so night so you understand, I even got a song day and nighttime of whatever I called it. But you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You understand, and you don't forget the earth signs, because earth, you know what I'm saying? If you want to get really deep into it, Taurus, Earth and Venus rule Taurus. If you want to get specifically deep, don't forget about Earth. You know what I'm saying? Like we like, because your Earth sign is important too. I'm gonna make a separate live about that. But your Earth sign is because Dolo made that shit. Or Rope made that shit. Dolo, the pilot made that shit. So you know what I'm saying? So I wanna because I fuck with that Earth sign shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit is real. But my Earth sign is Scorpio. So when an individual is not, like, when the individual is going like deep in certain areas and things, that I'd be like hesitant. I'd be like, what the fuck is this nigga? What is this nigga on? What the fuck is this chick on? Like, I don't know what the fuck is like going on. But it's like I can kind of see from both sides of where things is coming from. So it's like I understand it and things of that nature. But it's different for each side. Just it's like don't look at it as the opposite sign. Look at it as like the just like, just don't look at it as opposite sign. Just see it from the opposition point of view, but don't see it from the other point of view of where something is coming from. You know what I'm saying? So shit like that. But that's pretty much all I wanted to get into. You know what I'm saying? Trying to think, what else do I want to talk about? I mean, should I break down? I'm trying to think. That means I'm gonna rename this live stream Mars and Cancer and Earth signs. But I kind of want to do that in a separate live stream. You know what I'm saying? Like I can get into a couple of you. Like Aries Earth sign would be Libra. So Aries don't the way Aries see Libra is they don't like when motherfuckers are too friendly. You know what I'm saying? Scorpios are not into when motherfuckers are too deep. You know what I'm saying? Gemini is not into when oh, okay. Gemini is not into when motherfuckers are too like spiritual. I'm just making a surface right now, and that's Sagittarius. But man, see, I'm saying is I'll be all over the place. I'm a Gemini, first of all, moon sign Gemini, so I'm all over the place. So nigga, real shit. Yeah, I know what I'm saying. And I think we pretty much got all what we needed to get out in the whole thing. Shit. But Jet Spark Star Pilot, we on this motherfucker. Yeah,